And then there was Shrek 2. Now, before I say anything about this movie, I want to clarify that I don't think that Shrek 2 is a bad movie.
Yeah, of course.
I understand why people love it so much, but I just don't like it. In fact, this was the first movie I ever saw that I didn't like and everyone else seemed to love.
But the beautiful part is I don't give a fuck.
Shrek 2 is still the highest grossing animated movie here in the US.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that the rest of the world has better taste.
He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante, a public menace.
When people tell me that they like this movie, they always say the same thing. I like it because it's funny.
No shit.
And believe me, I'm not trying to take that away from this movie, because it is funny. So what's my problem with it? Well, this is when Shrek started to lose his way.
This is utter nonsense.
And this was the beginning of the gimmicky DreamWorks movies, where they would take enormous sidesteps from the story to tell stupid jokes. The original film has such a great story and such great character development.
Oh yeah!
All the while, this one had potential to have those. I love the idea of a fairy tale that takes place after the happily ever after.
Oh, really?
And shows you what happens to the characters after they have defied the conventions of a preset world. That was brilliant. But the movie takes one ridiculous sidestep after the other for jokes that are shut up. Anywho, with a half-decent story,
Shut your fucking face.
dumb side gag,
Shut up!
pointless parodies,
Blah, 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 blah.
and a whole lot of underdeveloped characters, this is by far one of the weakest sequels I have ever seen. But people can't get enough of it. Hell, this movie was nominated for an Oscar. Yes, this plot hole-written bit of nincompoopery was nominated for a Best Animated Film Oscar.
Stop, please! Please stop!
So it goes to show that no matter what
This isn't a negotiation. The sentence is death.
Oh. No! Dracula's back!
What kind of man are you?
Dracula, but known to his subjects as Vlad the Impaler. So what better way to compliment a bloody and violent opening than by cutting to a beautiful peaceful meadow? Yeah, that was a great choice. You'll walk into my home and then pull a sword on me. It's lucky for you that I don't drink. Assholes. Silence! What the hell would make you think that making a deal with a blood-sucking demon was the best course of action?
Because men do not fear swords. They fear monsters.
What? Was that you answering my question, or was that just a cool line for the trailer?
Fuck's sake.
Are we sticking to this close-up of a sword? You cut away? Three. Ah! Olsen twin! Olsen twin! I'm sorry, I don't mean to imply that the Olsen twins are unattractive or anything. They creep me out. There's just something so vacant and unnatural about them.
You little bitch!
Come and play with us.
What? She's playing the witch that curses the beast in this movie? Good casting.
You fat, smug, lazy, selfish bastard!
Mary Kate, or Ashley, or both of them. I honestly can't tell them apart.
Play with us.
Stop showing that!
You will suffer me.
You're mine now. Maybe it's just me, but shouldn't whoever runs the Green Committee actually care about things?
Is it just me, or does her dialogue sound badly dubbed?
Nobody's gonna run the union!
Like, they wanted to go out of her way to make her sound more unnatural and weird.
Forever.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Moving to a small town of Fort. Wait, hold it. Sorry, but as a horror fan, I can't refer to this emotionless bimbo by that name. From now on, I dub thee Deadpan McGee.
So inhuman. Blindingly inarticulate. They pull their devices out for every little thing. To reinforce their petty, convenient notions, to decide where they're going to shop, what they're gonna eat, what movies they're gonna watch, everything they ingest.
Mayor's wet drinks into a movie, but they should be put in a straitjacket and locked in a cell.
This is where the law stops, and I start.
We will have the massive mega Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, the most ambitious crossover to ever be attempted in any comic book adaptation franchise.
Andy, don't make me laugh. Ha ha ha.
This crossover is bigger than Endgame. Might not be as successful, might not generate as much revenue as Endgame.
What the fuck?
But it will be bigger, it will be longer, and it will include way more characters than Endgame.
I got nothing in common with them, with you. Don't you talk to me.
So I cannot emphasize enough how huge this year is, and they decided to kick off the year to start everything with the 2 female franchises.
Bitches! You bitches!
With Batwoman and Supergirl. And how beautiful and appropriate is that? They say that the future is female. I 100% agree.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
And I love how this franchise, and the CW for that matter, throw their considerable weight behind that belief and put their considerable support behind these female characters who we love.
What?
That crossover with those few little scenes with Batwoman, in those moments, she was more like Batman than any of the live action actors for the past 10, 15 years, in my humble opinion.
Say you are lying, and you shall even now be forgiven.
At me if you want, I don't give a fuck.
This is where the law stops, and I start.
Hi, fucking ya!
Character. But she just has this natural, perfect Batman-like presence about her. And you can't teach that. The greatest actor of all time just couldn't muster that, okay? Not Daniel Day-Lewis, not Meryl Streep. They cannot magically have that. They can't learn that. They can't evoke that with all their talent. This is something that Ruby Rose just has naturally. She's one of those actors that when she walks into the room, she walks in with such a swagger and confidence that she just owns the room.
You're a fucking idiot.